When you think of the Roman Empire's military dominance, you probably picture legionnaires in gleaming armor, their disciplined formations crushing enemies across 3 continents. But here's what most people don't realize. Rome's greatest weapon wasn't the gladius or the pilum. It was something far more devastating: their ability to build. While other armies conquered through brute force alone, the Romans conquered through construction. They didn't just defeat their enemies, they literally reshaped the world to make victory inevitable. And nowhere was this more terrifying than in their military engineering. Picture this. You're a Celtic warrior, watching from your hilltop fortress as Roman soldiers approach. You're not worried. Your position is unassailable, surrounded by steep cliffs and thick walls. You've got food for months. But then something impossible begins to happen. The Romans start building. In a matter of days, wooden towers taller than your walls rise from the earth like mechanical giants. Massive earthen ramps climb toward your gates, growing higher each hour. Roads appear where there were none, connecting the Roman camps in a geometric web of logistics. Your impregnable fortress is becoming a trap, and you're the one inside it. This wasn't magic. This was Roman military engineering at its most brutal efficiency. Every legionnaire was a soldier and a construction worker combined. They carried not just weapons, but tools, shovels, pickaxes, surveying equipment. Each man could fight in the morning and build fortifications by afternoon. The Roman military construction system was terrifyingly systematic. When a legion made camp, even for a single night, they built a complete fortified base: ditch, rampart, palisade, gates. Every camp identical, every soldier knowing exactly where everything belonged. Imagine an army that could literally disappear behind defensive walls anywhere on Earth within hours. But temporary camps were just the beginning. When Romans needed to take a city, they built the infrastructure to guarantee victory. At the siege of Masada, facing a fortress on a seemingly impossible cliff, the Romans didn't just attack. They constructed a massive stone and earth ramp directly up the mountainside. 8,000 Jewish defenders watched in horror as an artificial mountain grew beneath their walls, carrying Roman siege engines closer each day. The engineering wasn't just about individual sieges. It was about transforming entire landscapes into Roman advantages. They built roads that could move legions at unprecedented speed. Not paths or trails, but engineered highways with foundations, drainage, and mile markers. The Appian Way, Via Flaminia, Via Aurelia. These weren't just roads, they were military conquest made permanent in stone. Roman military bridges were engineering marvels that doubled as psychological warfare. Julius Caesar's bridge across the Rhine took just 10 days to build, a massive wooden structure spanning one of Europe's great rivers. The Germanic tribes on the far side couldn't believe what they were seeing. The Romans had literally bridged the unbridgeable, making the river that protected them into a highway for their enemies. When terrain wouldn't cooperate, Romans simply changed the terrain. They diverted rivers, filled valleys, leveled hills. During the siege of Alesia, Caesar's engineers built not one, but 2 complete rings of fortifications, one facing inward to trap the Gauls inside their city, another facing outward to defend against the relief army they knew would come. They turned a single siege into a masterpiece of defensive engineering. The speed of Roman construction was what made it truly devastating. At Dyrrhachium, Pompey's forces built 17 miles of fortifications in weeks. 17 miles. While fighting a war, the logistics alone should have been impossible. But Roman military engineering had systematized construction to an industrial level. Every legion had specialized engineers, architecti, mensores, tormentari, experts in everything from surveying to siege engines. But the real genius was that regular soldiers could execute complex construction projects. Roman military manuals contained detailed instructions for building everything from field fortifications to aqueducts. War and construction had become the same skill. The psychological impact was devastating. Enemies didn't just face Roman soldiers, they faced an army that could reshape reality itself. Cities surrendered not because they couldn't fight, but because they watched Roman engineering works growing around them and realized resistance was futile. This building obsession gave Rome something no other ancient power possessed: the ability to make their conquests permanent. Greek armies conquered and moved on. Persian armies conquered and appointed governors. Roman armies conquered and built Roman infrastructure, Roman cities, Roman civilization itself into the landscape. The ruins still stand today, 2,000 years later. Roman roads still carry traffic. Roman walls still guard cities. Roman bridges still span rivers. The empire fell, but the construction endures. A testament to the power of an army that won not just through fighting, but through building the future in stone and mortar. Rome's legions didn't just conquer the world, they rebuilt it. And that's why long after the last eagle standard fell, we still live in the world the Romans built.